Hey guys, well, the year's almost over, so I figured it would be appropriate to let you guys know that the album is not going to be ready for January 2018, unfortunately. However, fortunately, that means that the album will be finished and not being released unfinished, because right now it is unfinished, and that's why it cannot be released. Um, I started recording in summer of last year, so I guess 2015. And I was incredibly confident. Was it really? No, 20. Oh, geez, summer of 2016. It hasn't been that long. Summer of 2016. And I was incredibly confident that the whole process would take about a year. I just guessed, like I've never done a studio album before. And so I assumed that at the very worst case scenario, it would be finished near the end of this year, 2017, and I would just wait until at least January to release it. Because part of my thought process is that um, understanding how online media works and reviews work. If you release something too close to the end of the year, it's basically like committing marketing suicide. So if I have something ready for September, I'm going to hold on to it and plan out the release better and release it in January, because if you release something in the last few months of the year, there's a good chance that some people won't see it and they won't add it to the top of the year list if it would go on there anyway. And, for making an independent album, self-funded album, um, I feel like it's going to need to travel from word of mouth for a bit before it gets any kind of recognition. Like it's not going to be immediate. So, as it is right now, the album, there's a lot of songs on it that are like basically done. There's a lot of songs on the album that are mostly done. Um, but there's also some songs on the album, a few songs at least, that need some changes before I'm going to feel comfortable going into the mixing process. So the tracking's almost done. There's also a few instances of like I'm playing the vast majority of the instruments, and so when I went into recording the violin, I realized after the recording process, after the tracking, that I would rather have a fuller sound from a violin, and the violin I have is like a $300 cheap one, and there's no way you can, no matter how much you practice, with a $300 violin, it's not going to sound like a legit violin that I would want on my album. And so I got some help from some friends who are sending in different tracks uh, from the U.S. and other places. And so, yeah, just basically doing touch ups for the most part. Although there is at least one song where the tracking is far from finished, and basically the concept of the album, it's called 10 Years, and it starts out with a track that I wrote when I was 15, and it ends with a track that I finished writing while I was recording this album. So approximately 10 years, I guess. It was like at the end of age 15 that I wrote the first track, but maybe I was 16. Um, and so the final track on the album, I mean, it's a it's a finished song in terms of writing it, but I still need to do a lot of tracking on that track and figure out exactly what the instruments should be. But yeah, there's tons of songs on the album that are basically done, are close to being done, but I just want to, once it's out, like that's it. Once it's out, then it's finalized and I can't go back and change anything. And I want to make absolutely sure that what I'm releasing is something that I'm happy with. Um, and I can understand levels of frustration or impatience when it comes to this, but at the same time, it's not like I kickstarted this album and had a date where I said I would release it and now people feel ripped off or something. Like, I've self-funded this entire thing. Mind you, self-funding from a lot of Patreon donations, so thank you guys for that. But it's incredibly important to me that it's finished properly, and I absolutely refuse to release something that is not finished that I'm not happy with. And so what it's looking like is that it should be done summer of 2018. If there's some odd chance that it's not finished by like September or October, same logic. I'm going to hang on to it until January of 2019. But that, I would say, would be the absolute latest. But I'm expecting the summer. I'm expecting the summer based on how it's gone so far. And try to keep in mind that I've been recording. I've been doing recording sessions like once a week. It's not like it's not like I've been doing the recording as a full-time gig. I've been doing my film review channel and managing my gaming channel and other shit as my full-time gig, and then recording this album in my time off. And so that's another reason why it's taken so long. But what I'd like to share is some little snippets so that you guys know that I'm actually working on it and that it's actually coming together well. This is unmixed. This is unmastered. Just little short bits. I don't want to share too much because I don't want people to get like too familiar with something that's unfinished. And so, yeah, I mean, it'll sound different when it's out, but here's how some of the songs sound now. And I hope you enjoy, even though they're not really full or finished tracks, they're just little snippets. But here's a preview of what's to come. And there will be a Kickstarter in the future closer to the release of the album, because I want to kickstart something like a vinyl release and some music videos. And although I'm filming one music video right now, I'd really love to get like an animated music video and hire someone to do that. Maybe more than one. Those are expensive. So I'll definitely need some sort of crowdfunding for that, because right now pretty much all of my money has been going into the album. And it's been a very time-consuming and expensive process, but it's totally going to be worth it. That's the doorbell. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Love you guys. Peace.
When I turn to see, all of my worries will be gone, and I'll finally get some sense, because I'll know that I was wrong. Maybe when I grow up, I'll see you standing there, not the place for you to use as an excuse for what you say. You could be fighting either side, justified the same way, but cycling through sin and escape said the same. You can put up your wall and say I ran away, but I've already told you I'm not a reflection, so stop using me as a mirror for yourself. You must really want to be right, 'cause you don't wanna hear when you've done something wrong. You just plug your ears and try to play along. No one likes a cheat and you like no one. You've been on it's for you to see me for what I am, and not what I'm called. Though I'm one to talk, and if I changed all my ways, would I still be me? It's been done once before, and he's not coming back. But what'd you say to him? You said it could be anything.